Hi everyone, my name's Nick from the Nicholas Driving Academy. I'm actually sitting in my living room today. It's lovely, there's no one in. The place is tidy, thank God, because the wife will kill me if it wasn't. And I've got peace and quiet. The only problem is I find it so much easier telling a driving story in the car, because when you're sitting in your car, that's your office, or any car, you feel it's right. But sitting in the house, I'm sitting on a cushion on the floor, trying to do this video, but I'll do my best. It's a true story, happened a long time ago, and happened at a test centre called Bexley Heath, which is no longer there. All the test centres are no longer there. It shows how old I am, doesn't it? I'm not that old. And a nice lady, she was about sort of late 30s, early 40s, been sort of driving for quite a while, had quite a few tests with other driving schools, probably about a fifth or sixth test. She could drive, it was mainly nerves. Now nerves, as you know, is a massive part. And if you go back to one of my first videos I posted, talking about my experiences on driving tests and nerves, you never forget it. No matter who you are, I don't know anyone who doesn't suffer with nerves, particularly on a driving test. Anyway, she was very nervous. We had the lesson before. We drove up from Dulwich, so it's a bit of a journey. So we had about an hour and 20 minutes drive before we got to the test centre. This particular test centre, it's like a little office where you can park outside. There's not a car park, but you can see the car if you're lucky. I managed to get a really good spot by the office so I could see the car. Anyway, we get there. My pupil's nervous. It's to be expected, but she's confident. She's been well prepared. She knows what she's got to do. It's just control those nerves. Anyway, we get to test centre. Those days they carried the licence, sometimes other documents with them like passports. In her case, she brought bus pass, train ticket, because I said to her, if she doesn't pass, she's going to get the bus home. Only kidding. But they bring loads of stuff with them. So, and it's very important to have those bits with you, because at the end of the test, the examiner needs to see all those bits. It's changed slightly. Anyway, so the examiner comes out, calls her name. Now, it's not my favourite examiner, but the way I look at it is, if you're well prepared and you drive well, the examiner isn't really going to go, he's not out to fail you, put it that way. It's, you know, you only fail yourself. But she is nervous, and I'm a little bit worried because those nerves can get the better of her. Anyway, so, and again, it's a fifth or sixth test. So there's quite a bit of pressure on this, but may I just say, this is only her second one with me. So fingers crossed. Anyway, so the examiner comes out and calls her name. She signs the necessary documents, takes all her bits with her, and walks to the car. Now, I'm not, at this point, I'm not looking out the window. I thought I'll leave her, I'll let her get in the car, get settled, and I'll just look when she sort of moves off. I don't want to make her nervous. Anyway, so she gets in the car, and about a minute later, I decide, oh, I'll look out the window. I don't want to startle her, I don't want to make her nervous, but I'll just look from the window to make sure she gets away okay, doesn't kangaroo or anything like that. I'm not saying she will kangaroo off, but it's often the case when they're nervous, they do a bit of kangarooing. Anyway, so I see that she's in the car, I'm looking out the window, and I'm looking, what's that on the roof? On the roof of the car, she must have put her driving licence, her handbag, her cardigan, her passport, all her documents are on the roof. Now I'm looking, I think I've got to get out there, and she just pulls away and drives off. And she actually pulls away quite well. There's a few little jerks, but the junction's about 50, 60 yards up the road. Now she's pulled away quite quickly, which is unusual for her. Anyway, so I dart out the test centre quickly, because I've got to tell her about the documents on the roof, because they will fall off, and then she'll have no documents, plus a passport, plus the examiner can't pass her without the licence. Anyway, so I sprint out the test centre 100 mile an hour. Lucky I'm fit. Anyway, dart up the road. Now I'm running parallel with the car. Now I'm going to tap on the window, and the examiner looks terrified. He thinks I'm going to mug him. Anyway, he realised who I was, and they were near the junction, but I was panicking. Anyway, he opened the window, looked at me with such a look, I tell you, and I said, look, sorry to bother you. Oh, my pupil's documents are on the roof. And I handed it to the examiner, and he went, and he looked at me and thought, oh God, you know, what am I in for? Anyway, so luckily, gave her the documents, and that was such a relief, and I was exhausted because that was a hell of a run. Anyway, got back to the test centre, and everyone in there's clapping and laughing, and I'm shattered. Anyway, about 38 minutes to 40 minutes time, my pupil comes around the corner. Obviously, luckily, no license on the roof. It's in the car safely. Anyway, she pulls up, and then I'm looking out the window, as we do. We often keep an eye out. Anyway, I wander out when the car's completely stationary, because I don't want to startle the pupil. And all us instructors wait there thinking, are they going to pass? Are they going to, whatever. It's like waiting for a baby to be born in a way. The pressure, they're our babies in a way. We want them to do well, and it's nice to see our car back as well. Anyway, so I stand near the car, and I can hear a yee, but she's only gone and nailed it, and she's passed. So that was great news. So it all worked out really well. I was the knackered hero of the day. Pupil passed. The examiner had a little joke at me at the end, and he said I made him jump. He thought I was going to attack him or something. And I said, no. He said, luckily you saw that, he said, because otherwise that would have been, all her documents would have fallen on the roadside and she would have lost them all. Plus he wouldn't be able to take her license details. So great news. Anyway, we drove back. She was delighted and stopped and got me a nice bottle of drink and a box of chocolates. And then off she went. And that was a true story. And that happened a long time ago. So I was the hero of the day, a bit knackered, but I sprinted out. You should have seen me. I sprinted out that test centre 100 miles an hour. Anyway, us driving instructors, we don't just teach you to drive. We're everything. We're social workers, babysitters, everything. So the life of an instructor, I'll tell you, is interesting. And there's some great stories. And I've got a few more to tell. So watch this space. Anyway, thanks for listening. I really wanted to share that story, and look forward to seeing you in my next one. Stay safe, everyone, and safe driving.